even the very first day in London, I didn't feel like a foreigner. British humor is like, I'm pretty sure British accent is. Hi guys, it's Reset. In the previous video, I talked about 6 weird things about the UK from a Japanese perspective. But to be fair, this video will be about the bright side of living in London. I've been studying in London as an exchange student, so I have to go back to Japan in June. But if I can afford expensive housing rents in the future, I would love to live in London. That's one of the top of my list, because of the factors that I'm gonna talk about in this video. By the way, this channel is about Japanese views on everything compared with other countries. I explain things with the best combination of personal experiences and objective facts. If you want to know more about Japan or how Japanese people think, this is the best channel for you. So don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started. Number 1. Paperless culture. This is incredible. Let me give you 3 examples. The first is cashless. To be honest, I never used any cash ever since I came to London. On the other hand, you can still find a lot of places in Japan where only cash is accepted. In fact, cashless payment shares only 30% in Japan, whereas 70% in the UK. The second is restaurants. I normally don't go to restaurants because they are quite expensive, but I know a lot of restaurants in London have digital menu. You can look at menu online, you can order online, and you can pay online without any stress. Also, digital menu is quite sanitary, right? But in Japan, I don't think I've ever seen that before. The third example is vaccinations. According to the digital government ranking, the UK is ranked 3rd, while Japan is ranked 9th. But I feel like there's a huge gap between them. In Japan, when you want to get a vaccination, you need a letter from the government, which is delivered to your mailing box. While in the UK, you get an email from the government, which tells you you can get a vaccination. And once you get a vaccination, your vaccination status will be automatically under NHS, National Health Service. Number 2, politeness. By politeness, I mean respect for others. I don't hesitate to say Japanese people are one of the politest people in the world, sometimes too much. We say thank you and sorry all the time, everywhere. When Japanese people travel abroad, they realize that it's not actually the case in every other country. But in the UK, I feel that people say sorry and thank you very often. When you bump into somebody on a train or in a grocery stores, people will say sorry just naturally, which is very comfortable. Also, a lot of people keep the door open for you with a gentle smile. Number 3, convenient public transportation. Apart from the noise and the strike that I mentioned in the previous video, public transportation in London is very convenient. It's quite convenient, clean, and quite punctual as well. Oyster cards are very easy to use. In most other European countries, I found that they don't have ticket gates for public transportation, which for me doesn't make sense, because I'm pretty sure that there are many people using public transportation without paying fees. I assume those people are the ones who are causing pickpockets or other problems. That's my assumption. But the very ironic thing is that they have the gates for public toilet. Number 4, the weather. London is known for its depressing weather, but it's not as bad as I was expecting, honestly. Of course, it depends on the season. During the winter, you have more cloudy days, but during summer, it's actually very comfortable. In fact, if you look at the graph, from April to October, more than 40 days are either partly cloudy or sunny. Moreover, the temperatures during summer are a lot more comfortable in London than Tokyo. It could reach 35 degrees Celsius in Tokyo quite easily, whereas in London, the average highest temperature during summer is 23 degrees Celsius. Number 5, British accent. I'm pretty sure British accent is one of the fanciest one. When you hear British accent, it sounds like music. Personally, I believe my English is more influenced by American accent, because most English education in Japan is American accent, and I have watched a lot of American movies. Also, I've studied abroad in US a couple of times, so that's why. But I heard from my Belgian friend that in European countries, English teachers speak British English, which I think is very interesting. Having said that, language is just a way to communicate, so there's no bad accent as long as people can understand you, in my opinion. Number 6, educational level. The quality of education in the UK is quite high. Of course, it's obvious from the university ranking, but I can feel that people take education very seriously. My British friend told me that in the UK, your grades, your majors, and your grades at universities matter a lot when you want to get a job. While in Japan, very unfortunately, I can't say a lot of university students take education very seriously because it does not really matter in general when you want to get a job, because companies are going to educate you once you start working. Also, I found that many people in London read newspaper or books on the train. Given that more and more people are addicted to social medias or online games, it is worth noting. Number 7, traditional buildings. Buildings in the UK are absolutely amazing. Thanks to its long history, it has so many traditional fancy buildings. Actually, there is an interesting difference in the way to think about housings between Japan and the UK. Since Japan has a lot of earthquakes, old buildings are normally less valued. But in the UK, since they don't have earthquakes, old buildings are not under-evaluated, and they could be even more valuable than newer buildings. That was very shocking to me, honestly. Number 8, diversity. London is one of the most diverse cities in the world. The percentage of foreign-born residents in London is 37%, whereas 4% in Tokyo. It's a huge difference. Personally, I've never felt discriminated just because I'm Asian or something. That doesn't mean that discrimination don't exist in London, but still, even the very first day in London, I didn't feel like a foreigner, honestly, which was wonderful. Number 9, free museums. When I studied abroad in US, I hesitated to go to museums because they are pretty expensive. It can cost $20 or even more sometimes. However, most museums in London are free. Personally, I'm not super into museums and stuff, but even I go to museums casually sometimes because it's free, and most museums are concentrated in the center of London. Number 10, humor. Personally, I love British jokes because I think they're not so different from Japanese style. I think British humor is like indirect and it's more ironic. You know, in Japan, people don't say something directly and people imply a lot of meanings. People have to read between the lines. So that's what people are used to. And that's why I like British comedians, and the combination of their humor and their accent is like incredible. Okay, so those are the bright side of living in London from a Japanese perspective. Please let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comment section. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. And also, on my Instagram, I share my life in Japan and abroad, so it might be interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you soon.